Ultimate Spider-Man has a huge problem and I feel it needs to be talked about more. So guys, I've been enjoying the heck out of Ultimate Spider-Man written by Jonathan Hickman. And despite the criticism that I have for it, I definitely still am actively enjoying it. However, this series has a big problem that I quite frankly didn't even realize until I saw a tweet on Twitter. Ultimate Spider-Man was marketed as a story where Peter and Mary Jane had a successful and loving relationship, where they had kids and were just a happy family. This series specifically garnered attention because Peter and MJ were actually married and they genuinely loved each other, whereas in main continuity their relationship hasn't been stable in decades and it's been seemingly forever since they've been married. Now Ultimate Spider-Man was supposed to give us that amazing relationship between Peter and MJ that we have been begging for, and fans have been very happy in how they've been characterized. However, me personally, I'm not very convinced of their relationship. Writing relationships in comics is very tricky because you want to put two characters together who both have depth, who can challenge and lift each other up, but also love each other. And a lot of writers struggle with this because they can't find a good balance. It's either you'll get a toxic relationship like Batman and Catwoman where all they do is argue, all they do is lie and cheat on each other, they almost always have ulterior motives, they can never be honest with each other, or you'll get something similar to what we get in Jonathan Hickman's Ultimate Spider-Man series, where MJ is pretty much just limited to the supportive wife role. That's her character, that's all she has to offer, is being the supportive wife. And this really makes her relationship with Peter very dull. And that leads to my main problem with the series. MJ isn't an actual character. Mary Jane has zero depth, zero actual personality, and pretty much her entire character is once again just there to support Peter. That's literally it. I already know some people will say, well, you just hate healthy relationships, and that's obviously not my position. Healthy relationships still have conflict. Healthy relationships still have hardships. I'd argue that there can't be a healthy relationship without these things, because these things make relationships stronger if you can overcome them together. And that's not necessarily what I'm asking to be put in Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm not saying that I want this to just be a cuck fest. I'm not saying I need every issue to just be filled with tragedy, arguments, and all that. But my point is that we've seen very little of Mary Jane throughout this entire series, and whenever we do see her, she's just being the supportive wife to Peter, but not providing anything else to the plot, narrative, or story. Even in the latest issue, being issue number 6, Mary Jane finds out that Peter had been lying to her for months and that he's been living as Spider-Man. Not just that, but her own daughter knew about it the entire time. Now, you would normally kind of expect MJ to have a human reaction to this and be upset that her husband had been lying to her and keeping secrets from her for months. But no, she doesn't. She continues being the same supportive wife character with no actual depth or real personality. Listen, I'm not saying that Mary Jane should have left Peter and took the kids and filed for divorce, but the fact that she doesn't even seem upset or to the very least confused after being lied to for months is just weird. And I already know what some people will say, well, it's only been 6 issues, as an excuse for her not having any real depth or personality. And this is pretty self-debunking considering in the same exact universe, Ultimate Black Panther is only 4 issues in at the time of recording this video, and we know more about and have a stronger relationship with T'Challa's wife, aka Okoye, despite the fact that Ultimate Spider-Man is 2 issues ahead of Ultimate Black Panther at the time of recording this. So you can't give the whole, well, it's just the beginning excuse, because in the beginning of Ultimate Black Panther, Brian Hill has been able to establish Okoye as a character who was very supporting and loving to T'Challa, but she had her own unique character depth that was consistently explored in every issue, and it never actually hindered the main story. Okoye had fear, she had worries, she had hope, and she had determination, and she was able to build up T'Challa and remind him of who he is multiple times in just 4 issues. And not just build up T'Challa, she was able to build up the entire Wakandan people and lift everyone up with her words. This character depth is beautiful, and it makes the character of Okoye more relatable and better written. And all of this is coming from someone who is overall enjoying Ultimate Spider-Man much more than Ultimate Black Panther. So there's no bias that I have. I have a couple of critiques for Ultimate Black Panther as well that we'll discuss at a later date. But Okoye is a far better love interest in character than MJ. Jonathan Hickman's Ultimate Spider-Man run is nearly perfect. It is a phenomenal series that's in my pull list that I am enjoying very dearly. But as I said in the beginning of the video, this series was mostly marketed with Peter Parker and Mary Jane being together, having kids, and that family dynamic that fans have been begging for seemingly decades. And for this series really to be a 10 out of 10, for it really to be taken to that next level, we need to get a bit more of that family dynamic. And most importantly, we need MJ to be treated as a real person, as a real character, and not just as a foil or a tool to serve Peter's story. And if you are gonna just use her as a tool to serve Peter's story, at least give her more depth or an actual character that we as fans can resonate with, besides her just being the supportive wife. I feel like there was better ways to handle the whole, well, she found out that Peter had been lying to her for months and she just supports him because who cares if he had been lying. I feel like this entire interaction and comic could have been way more compelling if she expressed more emotion. Yes, the scene of her giving Peter Parker his superhero name is pretty cute at face value, but when Mary Jane is just used as the tool of the story and not an actual person, it really overall just hinders the story a bit. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I already know a lot of people, when a good series, well, great series like this come out, a lot of people love to unequivocally just praise them, and any negative critique that you give, like you're just gonna freaking foam out the mouth and get really angry. Enough though, a lot of those guys who get so irate about me giving my opinion like this don't actually support or own these books. They probably just pirate them. Like, I actually buy these, bro. Like, you know, this cover is fire, by the way, but yeah, I actually support these comics. I'm actually reading the Ultimates #1 right now as we speak while I'm making this video.